We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get fishy after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. A show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout. As after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage and enjoy the show. Good evening from Swansea wrestling fans. I'm Ben Allison. You're watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, and out of the gates, I'm going to skip the rest of the intro because I've got an important matter to attend to. Because for months and months and months, this man has been creating and spinning a narrative that Bron Breakker cannot talk. Well, guess what he did this past week on Monday Night Raw? He picked up a mic and delivered a promo of the year contender. He proved he is ready for that World Heavyweight Championship. He proved that he is ready for the main event of WrestleMania. Shad talk scraps. Are you going to finally eat those words?
What, just because he said la-di-da, ruff, 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 that's what made him, that was a promo of the year contender?
It was. He didn't just say that. He said a lot and he said it well. He told a story about CM Punk trying to embarrass him behind the scenes.
Oh, kick a guy while he's down right now, huh? That's what we're going to do to CM Punk? Bron Breakker.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? Okay, I will give him credit. He cut a very good promo on Monday night, right?
He did.
He did very well for himself. And that's fine and dandy. Let's see it on a consistent basis. Let's see if he can, because now the issue is this. He put the expectations high. Will he be able to cut that same style of promo? I don't think so, bro.
Why
doubt
not?
it. Because that's like an anomaly. That was just
Oh, come on.
He was in the
Let's
mood.
also...
Go
You
ahead.
watch NXT every Tuesday night. He cut some good promos in NXT.
No,
and we're
okay,
just
I
forgetting
never
those.
said that he was a bad promo. I said that he had to find. So this is the difference, right? I will give credit where credit is due. I think he found the balance of the temperament, because I think the thing that Bron Breakker, I believe, in NXT that was a bit of a where my main of my criticism is the fact that he's going at 100 miles per hour, right? He's just going high energy. That's all it is. I think Monday you saw a balance. You saw the ebbs and flows of it. Like you mentioned, he told a story. And when timing matters, he delivered the passion to the promo and he added more layers to it. Not everything is a catchphrase. Not everything is a bark, all of that. And that's credit to him. Honestly, that might be tied to Paul Heyman being part of it too.
Probably, yeah.
Because I think like that's one thing I've had issues with WWE main roster promos is that they lean on catchphrases like Bianca, for instance, right? I love Bianca Belair when she gets to naturally talk and talk like she wants to. But when they force her to say the fastest, then emphasize on EST, or even with Tiffany, Tiffany probably is the best example. Tiffany's promo game in NXT is leaps and bounds better than what it is on the main roster.
You're not wrong.
So
You're not wrong
kudos
there,
to
but...
Bron Breakker. But here's the thing, though. Let's call it spade a spade. My thing was this. I never said he's not main event ready or World Heavyweight Championship ready. I said he shouldn't win it out the gate in that match where Punk won it. I said his title needs to come at Mania. Will it come at Mania?
Why not in January?
Because I think the bigger moment is for Mania.
Do you know what I do, Shad? I'm going to film an Instagram reel about this week, but for everybody watching the podcast, I'm going to give you an exclusive right now. This is what they should do. January 5th, Netflix, shock title change, Bron Breakker wins, holds the World Heavyweight Championship. Fast forward to the Royal Rumble with help from a debuting or returning Austin Theory. Fast forward to the Royal Rumble. At the Royal Rumble, it's CM Punk versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory loses. CM Punk wins. Goes to Elimination Chamber. It's for the World Heavyweight Championship. Bron Breakker, CM Punk, both in it. It's the final two. It comes down to those two. And at that point, the Vision break into the cage. They hurt the structure of the Elimination Chamber to try and help Bron Breakker cheat. But at that point, whoever else they're feuding with at that point comes down, takes them out. They all brawl. So it's back to just those two men in the cage, Bron Breakker, CM Punk. And at that moment, Seth Rollins returns because he could come around that time, stomps the head of Bron Breakker. CM Punk pins Bron Breakker, and then Seth Rollins curb stomps CM Punk's head after he wins the title. WrestleMania, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, three-way for the world title.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Look, man, it's gonna come down to if he's making a strong case to win it on the Netflix debut for sure. A Netflix debut. Why am I saying that? The yearly.
It's a year on from the Netflix
wow, it's
debut.
Crazy. It's been a year, and we're gonna talk about Netflix shortly too, aren't we?
We are. That's going to be an interesting one. But we got a couple of comments here. We got Eddie Walker saying he's hyped for this. We got Fernando saying, "What's up, WR crew? What's up?" We've also got Fernando saying, "Face it, Shad, you were wrong about the mic skills of Bron Breakker. He absolutely was." And also liking my fantasy booking there. And Numero 1 saying, "What if they did what they did for Jay? Bron loses the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw and then wins the Rumble and then beats CM Punk for the title at Mania. They could well do that. Definitely is not out of the question. I just think, again, same thing, second year in a row. I don't know how to feel about that."
If he beats Punk at the Netflix, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather see Braun versus Seth as a one-on-one match at Mania rather than
really.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I just don't know if that's going to happen because I think they view Punk as a bigger main event star. I don't know, actually. It's a tough one. I don't know where WWE views a main eventer compared to Punk and Seth, because I think Punk, by basis of like reaction from the crowd, is a bigger star, but Seth is like, the guy is injured, and the work that he is doing outside of the WWE, being on ESPN, NFL Network, all these shows, like literally, like I've seen him on media tour doing like First We Feast, other podcasts. He's been so consistent, like just being a person waving the WWE flag outside of the ring on outside sources, and like stuff like that, man. I think that means a lot to the company too, you know? So.
No, I think you are right, but I'm going to, for once, actually say one last thing about this topic, and I'm going to say something a little bit mean about Bron Breakker. It's not mean, really, but the closest thing you'll find to me insulting him in any way, it's not going to be an issue for long, but right now, the reason I say triple threat is I'm not sure he can main event a night of WrestleMania on his own just yet. I don't think he's a big enough draw to do that in Vegas. I think in a year's time, if you do it with him now in a triple threat, he will be. I think it's a year too soon to do a triple threat. It protects him while also creating him as a star and introducing him to a wider mainstream audience.
That's a fair statement. And that kind of goes to what I was saying. So
no, it doesn't, because I think he's all right until WrestleMania.
Hey, man. World Heavyweight Champion. You say he's not ready for the Mania lights.
I think so. Yeah, there's two different things. There's been tons of world champions who aren't ready for the WrestleMania lights, but guys, John Cena had an interview today with the Ringer Wrestling, and on it, he was talking about his retirement tour and the plans for it, and he dropped the absolute bombshell that originally he wanted to do 220 dates. He went to WWE with that number. It included live events, Raws, SmackDowns, and they said to him, no, John, we want 36, I believe? They wanted 36 instead. Now, don't get me wrong, 220, insanely high number. They don't even do that many live events anymore. It couldn't have happened. But why on earth did we need to go from 220 to 36? Why couldn't we have found a nice medium in the middle? How about one episode of Raw or SmackDown every single week? What, 60 dates? That would have made this way better, because the end of this retirement tour has been a complete and utter rush, and now we know it's the fault of WWE, Shad. And to me, that's unacceptable.
This is so true to the WWE nature of booking. Also, I know a lot of people were trying to say that John may be fabricating the number, exaggerating, whatever you want to call it. But let's call a spade a spade. Hunter literally said to us that the caveat of a champion or a main event talent should be it, meaning it needs to be special. It needs to be a special occasion. That's what protects it. That's why Io didn't wrestle so much as a world heavyweight champion. That's why Cody and Roman are not on TV. Well, Cody not more so, but Roman, like, you don't see him as much. Like, there's a nuance to it where they want to protect them and make everything feel super special. And to that point, I agree. There needs to be a median. You know, maybe he's not going to do 220 dates, but 100, 60, 80, like you're robbing the fans so much. And the biggest gripe I had with the date, storyline and the countdown was the fact that you pigeonhole yourself. And when it's that minuscule, that minimum of amount of dates, you're not able to prolong storylines. You're not able to allow storylines to breathe. You're not able to have him have matches. Like, this guy's literally, we're never going to get to see him wrestle again. And we got a handful of matches throughout the entire course of this retirement tour. And I don't know what it is. I feel like they overcomplicate their booking so much this calendar year. And it's become so frustrating because you are at the top of your game when you talk about talent on that roster and the potential that you can add to it. The lights are bright. The eyes are on the product. Why do you do this? Like, allow that man deserves to wrestle as many matches, as many shows as he wants to. He is the forefront. He is the face of what people look at in the WWE. For you to just decide to be like, nah, we're going to have only this many is idiotic that's the nicest way I can repeat it to be. So, yeah, I agree, bro. It is a big disservice to what they did.
Well, we're on the same page there. I mean, some of the comments, though, do have concerns about it. We got numero one saying that it could have meant that the Cena heel run would have ended sooner because we would have seen more of cartoon Cena. Meanwhile, WWE, AEW fans says more dates for the heel run. No thanks. Here's the thing, though, guys. I don't think this would have meant that we'd see the heel run for longer or shorter because practically all the dates were for the heel run. I think what it would have meant is we would have got more dates in the second half of this year, which I think would have saved the entire thing.
Yeah, it would have been a more even split, to be honest with you. But that's the thing I was saying. Like, you don't give yourself a buffer zone to tell these stories. And that's like where it gets annoying because it's so weird, bro. Like, I don't understand what the heck is going on this year with them. This is a company that is so good at storytelling, and they have done one of their worst years storytelling for so many key stuff. And to me, Cena's retirement tour is the biggest layup you can make, and they made it a half-court shot.
It's dreadful. It really is. I mean, it's easy to blame someone such as Road Dogg, which I do. I think they need a change on SmackDown right now. But it's a bigger problem than that, clearly. There's something going wrong. I mean, they apparently got a really good creative process. It's the best it's ever been by all accounts, the way that they go about it day to day.
Let me ask you something, though, because we watched all these interviews this week by him. And he's given a lot a lot to chew on interview wise. And the one thing I respect about John, I like that he's honest about it, and he's not like trying to lie to the fans. Do you think he is a little teed off how this retirement tour is going on?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in these interviews now starting to give a little bit of digs. Like when he publicly, after Triple H suggested he wanted to face Brock Lesnar, he publicly said that he didn't, and it was WWE who chose it. Then now he's saying that it was WWE who chose the dates and stuff like that. He is clearly annoyed about something in some capacity, for sure, even if it is just a little bit of a grudge and something maybe subconscious. Something is clearly eating away at him, making him say these things.
Now, he also said something else that's telling, bro. He told Jimmy Kimmel this is his last match as a WWE superstar.
Oh, great. So you think he's going to AEW? You think he's going to be all elite?
John Cena in the G1. Let's do it.
He's doing some flips.
All jokes, all jokes.
We'll talk about AEW a little bit later on, but Fernando says WWE fumbled this whole thing. Numero one says WWE literally retconned a lot of storylines in 2025, with the majority of it being Cena's retirement tour. Eddie Walker says bad move by Triple H. He says that not to mention some of these matches were matches that we didn't even want, like the match with Brock Lesnar, a fantastic point there. And also, K the Great 1993 says, wow, that's bad by WWE. And our Instagram comments weren't too happy either. They were fuming at Triple H. Triple H is losing the fan base, Shad. Like, I don't think that's an exaggeration to say he is losing the internet fan base.
Oh, he definitely is. I've talked to people that are, big WWE fans more than anything, and they're just like, yeah, this is not as good as it was a couple years ago. And I mean, man, it's so sad because they had people back into it. So like the Mania 40 season felt so electric and so special. And to where we are now, it's like, man, they hit a 180. Like I won't say I'm never gonna say things are as bad as like 2019 or like 2021 booking.
Yeah, that sucked too.
Yeah, but like it's still to his to Triple H's standard, he's not meeting what he should be hitting right now. Like you got too much like star quality on this roster. Is arguably, bro, this is one of the best rosters they've ever had in
easily.
ages.
Easily. I mean, right now it's a really good time. The worry is in a few years' time, and that's the thing. That is the real worry, because they're going to lose all these top guys in a few years. And if the product's bad now, like what's going to happen then? But the thing is, I'm not going to blame Triple H here, because I think the difference between this Triple H and the Triple H in NXT, one, it's the weekly product. I understand that. But secondly, it's also the fact that the team he's got around him, I don't think is as good. I think the Vince guys, I understand you needed them there for a transition. You needed them to smooth things over. Bruce Pritchard, Road Dogg, and quite a few others. I think they need to go.
Yeah, you need to allow like William Regal to step into place. Whoever else they have that is on the up and coming. Potentially, man, like honestly, like he's doing a good job even on the producer aspect, where he's getting like his guys that used to be in the black and gold, like a Pete Dunne, like an Italia, like lean to these people. Obviously, like they're gonna potentially, they could be the next bookers for y'all or whatever it may be, and you gotta like sometimes a younger, fresh mind could definitely be beneficial, especially when you talk about relatability. Like somebody like like even like Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying? Like I know he's older, but still he's a guy that these kids, these people have grown up watching, and they have the utmost respect for. He has some sort of connection with them in some basis on the NXT locker room. And sometimes William Regal is the same way too. Like you should lean on that. So
I think they need to separate the creative teams a little bit more as well, because again, booking 2 3-hour shows a week with 1 2.5, 1 3 hours starting in a couple of weeks' time.
I think they need. I don't think they need a women For the women's division, I think having a woman be in the creative room would be very
I
beneficial.
think they do.
Do they right now?
I can't remember the name, but I'm pretty
I
sure
know
they
the
do.
lady who, like, Mercedes brought somebody to AEW. I don't know if I know she's not there no more. Well, you might be right.
No, she's not. She's actually gone on a big rant about AEW today, but that's a conversation for another day. Yeah, she said they've got no creative process backstage. It's a complete and utter disaster. All the producers want to leave because Tony doesn't tell them what to do until they're on air. He doesn't make time for them in the day. It was an absolute burial on
Oh, I
Twitter.
need to read that. I didn't know that.
There was also a couple of tweets on there too, which were alluding that women of color were being held back by somebody as well. So I mean, there's some big claims going on, but it was always these tweets. She wasn't properly like going in, like she was taking one step and then it was a step back and then another step in another direction. It was a lot of like half things without actually backing up why you were saying it. So I don't know. But it's also interesting that's not getting much coverage today. But up next, guys, we do need to talk about something which is getting a lot of coverage today. And that is the fact that Becky Lynch has been screwed over. We all know it. We know she didn't tap out in War Games. We know that she didn't even lose the Intercontinental Championship. That referee, Jessica Carr, look, she's not even qualified. She's a fraud. She probably shouldn't be in a job. And the other day, I took it upon myself, and you did as well, Shad, to make a video to inform the massive, to make sure everybody understood that Becky Lynch should still be the Intercontinental Champion and Problematic Pierce is hiding things. Well, I woke up, the other day I woke up and I saw she posted me on her Instagram story. That was fantastic. But today I woke up, checked my phone, and I saw that she posted me not only to her Instagram story, but also to her Instagram feed and her Twitter. Becky Lynch, thank you very, very much. But Shad, how much of a disgrace is this situation at this point? I mean, how has she not been given back the IC title? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, honestly, the more we allow time to go week upon week, day upon day, hour upon hour, minute upon minute, second upon second, this is truly the biggest travesty in pro wrestling history. I know a lot of people want to try to say that it's comparable to the Montreal Screwjob. Screw that match. This is way more problematic and way more controversial than that. Becky Lynch is far more of a victim than anybody is in professional wrestling. And I can't sleep at night. I've had a tough time going to bed night upon night because Jessica Carr is still employed as a referee. Why is she not doing the job that she should be doing? And that is being backstage and getting the pasta salad and catering. Stop allowing pedestrians being referees. We have a referee problem in the NFL. We shouldn't have a referee problem in the WWE. This is not fair to Becky Lynch, someone who has put blood, sweat, and tears for this company, who has been the greatest champion in WWE history. And for them to just completely disrespect the best horsewoman of all time, the best women's wrestler of all time, shows more about them. And Adam Pearce, you bald fraud, from one bald man to another bald man. Stop being a coward. What man leaks his text messages and missed phone calls from Becky Lynch? Look yourself in the mirror. What job have you done? Nick Aldis clears you. Okay? Nick Aldis is running a tight ship over there in SmackDown. Raw, it is a complete, utter mess right now. And I'm looking at you. You should be on the hot seat. They should send you to Evolve. You should be managing Evolve. You shouldn't be managing Raw anymore. So we at Wrestling Republic invite Becky Lynch to be a guest on any show she wants to be on, whether it be off the air, whether it be Spotlight, whether it be the Daily. You need the correct media coverage. Okay? So I'm not going to badmouth those people because she's already done it and everything she says is true. There's only one media outlet that she has allowed to say, hey, they're telling the truth. Hey, they are speaking the good word, and that is us at Wrestling Republic. So for those, do better. Okay, let's be better. All right, let's not be one of these people that are fake news and be biased. Let's be unbiased and let's preach the truth here at Wrestling Republic. That's why me and Ben are both wearing WR shirts right now, by the way.
Absolutely. We are not fake news media. We bring it to you how it is. And unlike a lot of wrestling media sites who are trying to support Adam Pearce, they're trying to basically just, shove it all under the rug. This mystery man, that mystery man, by the way, Shad, I'm hearing more and more. I'm hearing more and more phone calls. I'm receiving more and more letters that maybe that mystery man was hired by Pearce as just a distraction tactic. And quite frankly, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Adam Pearce is literally just, he has an agenda. And by the way, Maxine Dupree, okay? I didn't want to go there, but I have to go there. Are we supposed to root for you because you are, a tough girl now and you disrespected the IC title? How could anybody in their right mind decide to take a picture with the most important women's title in pro wrestling when Becky Lynch had it on her waist? She's still the champion. 7-Eleven with a Slurpee? Are you insane?
A fast food chain.
Gas station, not even fast
gas
food.
Station. She took it to a gas station.
A place that is notorious for Slurpees and microwavable taquitos and hot dogs known by God knows what meat is in that. No, disgusting. Absolutely gross. I am tired of it. What kind of precedent are we allowing a title like that to be under? Get that off of her, please. Can we, man, I'm
feel sick listening to this.
It's disgusting, bro. I truly don't understand it. She probably got Slurpee stains on it.
Ugh. No, thank you. No, thank you. Quickly reinstate Becky Lynch as IC champion before this belt gets any more ruined. She never lost the belt. She never tapped out in War Games. Jessica Carr. Do we have any evidence? Have we seen the papers that she's a real referee? No, we have not. So we don't even know. We've said release the files. She isn't releasing the files. We don't know that she's even a referee. It is a complete and utter joke. We have got Jon Vokashaw saying, I'm on Becky's side. Adam Pearce, do better or resign as Raw GM. DCX Warlord, justice for the New Day and Becky Lynch. Atomic Merp saying, do better. DCX saying, Becky has been robbed time after time this year. WWE, AEW, seeing there on Pearce's side.
My
that's
God.
just
Is that Chris Jericho in the picture?
That probably explains why. We got Kay the Great saying dreadful from Pierce. We've got D6 saying it's a tragedy. And number one with a fantastic suggestion that I'm the special guest referee with Becky Lynch taking on Jessica Carr. She's not a qualified referee. I doubt she's ever stepped in a wrestling ring to wrestle in her life. She doesn't know how to wrestle. Becky Lynch would squash her in 2 seconds. Let's book that match. Let's make it happen. Let's embarrass Jessica Carr. She doesn't know how to lock up. She doesn't know how to hit those moves. Becky Lynch would squash her in a matter of seconds. No doubt about it. But up next, we need to talk about John Cena Sr., Shad, because he... Oh, apparently Graphic wants to move on. No, we're not doing that. We are doing John Cena Sr. because he, in an interview, and the tab's shut, but I'll say it in a second. He was in an interview and he essentially said that he is upset with John Cena's final opponent if it is Gunther. And he said the reason that he is upset about it is because he doesn't think Gunther needs the rub. And instead, the people who need the rub were Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, right? Keep in mind those two. I mean, one's retired, one's half retired. Edge or JBL. So basically, instead of Gunther, the 4 people who could use the rub are 2 retired guys and 2 guys who are at the end of their careers putting over younger stars. Look, I'm not thrilled at Gunther being the final opponent because I do think other people could have used it more. But I think he'll get a great match out of Cena. I think it's the safe choice, but it's better than those 4 choices for sure, Shad.
Yeah, the wording of that makes 0 sense from John Sr. I love the passion. I love that, he wants to see his son go out on a high note. But let's be real. What rub does it do for two guys who are no longer professional wrestlers, and JBL and Kurt Angle, and two guys that are still currently employed with All Elite Pro Wrestling? Let's knock it off. Let's get that out the way. The rub should have gone to someone potentially that could benefit off of it. Someone that could be next in line, that could be young. Like we mentioned earlier, the problem is nobody is that. Nobody is literally next in line to get that. You either are a little far removed from it, or you are a older star that's somewhat established. He already wrestled Cody, right? He kind of put Cody over. So Gunther to me is in that same tier of wrestler. I don't think he's as big of a star as Cody, but it's one of those situations where, like, I don't know, man. I feel like the names given, I think we were already expecting it to kind of be him, just because, they didn't have Obafemi there, right? They had Javon, but we knew Javon was a little far away. And how Carmelo Hayes was booked, we knew that wasn't going to be the case. So to me, it's one of those cases where it's like, you're just going off the standpoint. Cena needs to put over the next guy that they see as a top tier name. That is Gunther, and they want to have a good match. But him wrestling one of those four, it's not for the rub. I mean, to me, I know Edge is the popular name because historic rivalry, but what can you do? He can't contractually wrestle the guy. Unless you could have had the issue potentially not be a problem if you would have had more dates, but you didn't. His time is done at that time. So call a spade a spade. He's got to go against someone younger. Those four guys don't make sense.
Yeah, you are right. And to confirm, it was on the All Access podcast that John Cena Sr. said this as well, but it doesn't make sense to me, and quite a few of the comments agree, saying it could have helped establish Obafemi, Trick Williams, Ben Davis saying the exact same thing as well. WWE AEW fans saying LA Knight could have used it more. I mean, it still could be LA Knight tonight, but I'm sorry, it should be Gunther out of those two. It should. But numero one says let LA Knight win as well. He's got history with Cena. And yeah, I mean, that was ages ago. You are right, but I don't. Shad, I know you like LA Knight more than I do, but you don't seriously want him being John Cena's final match, do you?
Nah. LA Knight, he doesn't feel hot right now. That's just the honest truth. He feels kind of cold. LA Knight feels like a mid to upper mid card guy. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, look, man, I'm critical on Gunther to a point, but what I'm not going to do is disrespect Gunther as a talent. Gunther is better than LA Knight on all facets as a pro wrestler. Maybe not as much as a talker, but they're different styles of characters. But Gunther, like, let's not get it messed up. Let's not get it to a point where we're going to disrespect the ring general. I'm going to be real for a second. I'm going to peel back some layers for a quick second. That man is worthy of being his last match. Gunther is an incredible worker. Gunther is an incredible bad guy. Gunther is a top tier talent and main event caliber wrestler at the end of the day. Does it go to the, dynamic of what the card is supposed to be? Probably not. But at the end of the day, this stays somewhat true to the story because this is a tournament and the best talent usually wins tournament. That man has given us banger after banger so far in the tournament. Tonight, I don't expect it to be as much of a banger because I like LA Knight. I think he's a solid worker, but it should be fine. But LA Knight versus Cena, that would have been better as a program when Cena was a heel, where they can cut promos at each other. Because that's where LA Knight flourishes, is the fact that he's a great talker and character. You don't have that in this situation because we got Raw, we got SmackDown next week, and then we're done.
Shard? Gunther's a better promo than LA Knight, I'll say it right now.
I don't hate that.
Gunther's first language is not English. yet he stumbles less on the mic than LA Knight does. And trust me, I'm not having a go at stumbling. I stumble more than anybody. But the fact is, Gunther doesn't stumble, and it isn't his first language. Gunther's promos are unique. LA Knight's are ripoffs, right? I'm sorry, guys. I think the LA Knight bubble has burst, and I think people are starting to see it. I'm seeing it more in our comment sections as well on Instagram and stuff. People are starting to turn on LA Knight now. The LA Knight train is over, and I think part of that is because, I mean, Donnie said it this week. He interviews wrestlers all the time. A lot of people on that roster who've worked with him have issues with him because he constantly wants to get his stuff in.
Yeah, he definitely has. It's one of those cases. Just because you're loud doesn't mean your argument is better. Type of dynamics, right? So he has a lot of. He's got the catchphrase, the character, the swagger, but I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where it's like Mr. Kennedy, right? If anybody remembers him, Mr. Kennedy was the same way, right? Mr. Kennedy was he had the Kennedy, like he had the whole catchphrase thing. He was a solid promo, decent worker. And I think Mr. Kennedy I would rank him as a worker a little bit above LA Knight personally.
I think he was better than LA Knight.
Yeah, I think he was better too. So, I mean, but he's kind of to that tier where like people kind of just saw him like, okay, IC champ, US champ, good mid-card hand. And then also, so, it's one of those things where it's like, if they don't see him as a main event guy, I don't know if he'll ever reach that at that point. So, like him,
that is very true.
And also the other thing is this though. I think Cena needs to win next Saturday.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about this on the podcast this week. Now, actually, you brought that up. That's something for the Wrestling Republic podcast. Make sure to check that out on Monday. But we need to talk about this Warner Brothers Discovery Netflix deal, because who better to explain business to you guys than two wrestling podcasters? So essentially, right, what's gone on here is Warner Brothers Discovery has been acquired by Netflix, right? It has to go through all these processes. Spoiler alert, it'll probably go through. They basically never get blocked when this deal is of this magnitude. But a lot of people are saying, does this mean AEW is going to end up on Netflix? And the short answer is it's very, very unlikely. Is it technically possible? Yes, but it's very unlikely. WBD are not selling, well, Netflix are not acquiring the TV stations. They are not acquiring TNT, TBS, HBO Max, and all of that. But what they are acquiring is a lot of content from those. And they haven't actually released the full list yet. They've released a lot of them, but they haven't said that's the full list. So is it technically possible AEW could be on that full list? Yes. But being realistic, it's probably almost certainly not going to happen. But it all gets a little bit more complicated than that, because those channels are going to be part of a new thing called Discovery Global. Now, what relationship that's going to have with what was formerly WBD, we don't know. So we don't know the answer in terms of, is that going to hurt AEW's relationship? What we do know is that the current WBD president, he is going to be leaving, and he is the guy who Tony Khan has got a close connection with. So that element is going to hurt them a little bit. But the bigger problem here, and it is a really big problem, is the rumblings and rumors and speculation is that Paramount are eventually going to go in for this Discovery, what was it? Discovery Global. They're going to go in for this Discovery Global channel once it's up and running as well, and take the TBS, TNT, HBO Maxes into their own thing, because Paramount do want to expand into television. And that suddenly becomes a big, big issue for AEW, considering they've got a really, really good relationship with TKO. So essentially, Shad, does this mean AEW is going to fail tomorrow? Absolutely not. Does it mean they're going to lose their TV deal tomorrow? Absolutely not. But does this mean that long-term TKO will control the vast majority, other than basically Amazon Prime, of the major networks? Yes. And I'm going to be honest, I love WWE, I love TKO. I think that's a really dark thought, and I don't think that's good for the business at all.
No, it's not. It's honestly a very scary thought to think of the future of it. And TK has been so transparent about his relationship, as you mentioned, with the Warner Brothers exec. And for it to be one of those situations, it goes to a point where, like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. It may not affect this TV deal, but the next TV deal when it comes, what is to come and what is to happen? I mean, Turner Television is so intriguing because it's always been the second home of to whatever rivals the WWE. And I would hate for it to be a similar situation where Turner kind of gets turned around and WWE kind of wins off of that standpoint. My hope is the fact that there are other avenues. Obviously, streaming is a key point of it. You mentioned Amazon Prime. They have a relationship with AEW right now. And they're starting to pick up steam. They've got the NFL on Prime now for Thursday games. Maybe eventually they go there, but for the immediate future, I mean, it may not be something that we see now, but to think about the long-term aspect of it, it's something that, you got to definitely keep notice of, man, because the one thing about it is, man, and Clark mentions it so eloquently as well. A monopoly is never a good thing in pro wrestling. And obviously, I'm not saying this is a monopoly, but someone having full on control of something or kind of covering all the big ones, it's a tough situation because I think AEW has done a good job being that alternative and being, visible on a network television. Network television is such a key aspect to it because it allows, as much as people say TV, cable, and doesn't matter, it's still an easy avenue to watch stuff and it's easy accessible compared to, going a streaming standpoint. So hopefully this isn't that dark cloud that you mentioned.
Let's hope not. Let's really, really hope not. And we got a few comments here. We got Brad's Gameplay X saying, I love AEW and WWE, and so do we as well. So do the majority of wrestling fans. And that's the thing. This kind of sucks for like everybody who isn't WWE. And that's why, I mean, it does worry more. Affiliated companies like TNA will be fine because they're affiliated. They're friends with each other and all of that. So it really is difficult. We got WWE, AEW fans saying Trump will block it. I mean, look, he wanted Paramount to get it. I don't think he's going to block it. I really don't. But even if he does block it, that will then mean Paramount get it, which would be just as bad news for AEW, if not actually maybe slightly worse. Kay the Great says that sucks, and Numero 1 says it's simple and obvious. In 2027, Triple H is going to reveal he owns AEW, but just like 2001, Shane will appear in AEW and reveal to Triple H that he has the paper and reveal he now owns AEW.
Never change, Numero 1. You are my favorite person, bro. You're so funny with that.
But we got RK Knight saying that Shotzi's doing a lot in the indies right now. Absolutely. She is killing it. She is doing incredible. And this is not good for any of those companies, really. So hopefully that isn't a theme which we do end up seeing. But guys, we will be back same time, same place tomorrow here on the Wrestling Republic channel. Thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate you. Thank you, Shad. Thank you to everybody in the comments. You guys have been on fire today, and we will see you tomorrow to talk Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys then. Peace.